Let's flash back to late 1999. By this time, the Dreamcast was already out. Myself, I was the store manager at a Funcoland store in Springfield, Massachusetts. I had moved up from being an assistant manager in 1998, then a manager in training in the first half of 1999, and then I finally had the full responsibility in the second half of 1999. There were some interesting games that came out in 1999, some better than others, some worse than others. Superman 64, for example. But one of the games that stands out to me from my time at Funcoland in Springfield is this particular game right here. This is Medal of Honor from Electronic Arts in DreamWorks Entertainment. This came out, I believe, late October, early November of 1999. This is the first-person shooter that I really enjoyed playing. I really wasn't a first-person shooter guy. I didn't play GoldenEye that much for the Nintendo 64, for example. It was this game right here that made me sit up and take notice and go, wow, this is pretty cool. I can't say for sure whether it was the World War II theater or whether it was the Michael Giacchino soundtrack or whether it was the really funny teaser trailer for the game, Conversational German for the American Soldier. If you haven't seen it on YouTube, look it up. It is hilarious. Whatever it was, this game just resonated with me, and I bought it just after it came out, and I have gone back to it ever since. It is an enjoyable game. It's an enjoyable first-person shooter game with some decent AI. One of the things that really surprised me is when you throw grenades at enemy soldiers, they'll pick up the grenade and throw it back at you, so you got to be really careful. But I did enjoy playing this, although for the longest time I played it with digital controls rather than analog. I could never go back that way now that I'm conditioned to use analog controls, but back then I was still team digital all the way. So this game stands out to me. And of course, because the game was successful, you knew there was going to be a sequel, right? And there was a sequel in 2000, and it's this guy right here, or this game right here, I should say, with Manon on the cover. This is Medal of Honor Underground, which focuses, I believe, on the French Resistance. This game, very similar to the first, except the theaters of war are a bit different. The main character is a bit different. No longer is it Jimmy Patterson, but it's now a female protagonist, which I think is very cool. But still, a lot of action to be had here, a lot of fun to be had, and a worthy game for your collection if you've not played it. Plus, it continues in that World War II theater, which I certainly appreciated because it leans on history quite a bit. So you've got two Medal of Honor games for the PlayStation, and this leads up to, because we're in 2000 at this point, this leads up to the PlayStation 2 and to the game that's the focus of this particular episode of Unsealed. This game is my favorite game in the Medal of Honor series. It is one that I love going back to. It's one that draws not only on history, but also on movies as well, especially Saving Private Ryan. Long before Call of Duty World War II did their version of storming the beach at Normandy, this game did it, and it blew me away when I first saw it. I'm, of course, talking about Medal of Honor Frontline for the PlayStation 2, and yeah, that is a Circuit City sticker up there in the corner, which we won't see for very long. So, this game came out in 2002. I picked it up at launch because I had been waiting for it. I knew that it was going to be good. I had faith, and my faith was rewarded. This game is awesome. Everything from the soundtrack to the graphics, to the gameplay, everything is here. It is really enjoyable. It is challenging, and it's a lot of fun to play. As we take a look at the back of the game here, you don't play, you volunteer. That is the tagline for the game. I'll try and tilt this so you can see some of the screenshots. This game is so good that it was remastered as part of the Medal of Honor reboot for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. The PS3 version got Frontline remastered, and it was worth playing through again. I really did enjoy that. So when we take a look here at what the feature set is and what it says in the back of the case, it says, armed to the teeth with 18 authentic World War II weapons, you can outgun hundreds of Nazi soldiers, fight alongside battle-hardened allies. You master OSS training by penetrating enemy strongholds and outsmarting highly trained SS officers. There are 19 missions from Overlord to Market Garden. You can storm the beaches of Normandy, that's like I mentioned, siege the Nijmegen Bridge, I'm probably saying that completely wrong, and I'm sorry, infiltrate a secret weapons facility, sabotage German U-boats, a very cool mission, Stow away on a speeding armored train, hijack the Nazis' experimental HO-9 jet plane, and defeat the Nazi war machine. It just sounds exciting when you read that stuff, and that's because the game is. It is a game that I have no issue recommending to you if you have a PlayStation 2 still working at home, and it should be in your collection even if you're not the biggest fan of first-person shooter games. The lower difficulty levels do make it at least passable that you can play through. And I believe that there are some cheat codes so that if you really get stuck, you can still play through it and just have the experience because it's an experience worth having. So this is a brand new copy of the game. It is Black Label. It is not a greatest hits version of the game. So this does come from 2002, I believe, and I've been looking forward to opening this up. Even though I do have another copy of it that's in pretty good shape, it's nice to have a sealed copy that I'm going to open up and relive that memory of being really excited to open this up and get it in my PlayStation 2. So let's go ahead and get this guy open. Let's hope that I don't have to lament not having scissors, and this time I do not because the plastic is going to cooperate with me. So we take this off. Take the top off there. See you later, Circuit City label. I'll have to do a video on Circuit City at some point. And we'll take the top seal off. Of course, this is going to... You know what? Yeah, no. We're going to try and get this done. And then we'll take a look at the instruction manual and see what's going on here. Again, it is a first-person shooter, so the basics apply, like strafing and taking cover and managing ammo and all these things. But to me, it's fun. I am not the biggest first-person shooter fan, and I'm certainly not the best first-person shooter player around. But there are just a couple of first-person shooters that I really identify with. It's the Medal of Honor series, especially this game. It's the BioShock series, which I really enjoyed, that combined narrative and first-person shooter gameplay. Those are really the two that I almost always go back to. Let's open this up. Ooh, please, yep. And I'm glad I didn't dump it because, yeah, the disc was not in play. So as we turn this around, you can take a look. I'll move it to the front there. You can see the disc right there. You can see the manual right here. The disc has that almost, not sepia tone, but it's definitely like a brownish feel to it. So here's the instruction manual. On the back of the instruction manual, another awesome game. I need to try and find a new copy of this. This is Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, another fantastic game. I played the heck out of this too, but that's not the reason we're here. The instruction manual, unfortunately, is black and white. It is not in color. I can't say I'm surprised. EA was not big on making color instruction manuals, and I don't hold that against the company. So that's what you got in there. You got your movement controls and weapons control, and talks about the different weapons in the game, which is here. Colt 45, Walther P38. You got the M1 Garand, which is the weapon I like using the most. The STG 44, the MP40, the shotgun, of course, the Panzer Schreck, which was a big hit with the first Medal of Honor game, and more. This does have life, however. This is not like your Call of Duty games where there's regeneration going on. So if you're getting too many bullets, you can go ahead and hide and regenerate. This is very much based on how many times you get hit and how much damage you can withstand, and using field surgeon packs and in life packs as needed. And to get the best grades in the game, you have to finish the level with as much life as possible, which is certainly a challenge. As I said before, this is an absolutely fantastic game, worthy of a spot in your PlayStation 2 library. If you don't have it already, by now you probably do. And the good news is that there are enough copies of this around where it's not going to set you back all that much, whether it's a complete in-box copy or whether it is just a disc-only copy. But it is a game that I do highly recommend. It is a lot of fun to play through. The storyline is engaging. The immersion is pretty impressive for 2002. And again, the soundtrack is amazing, and it's available on, I believe, Apple Music and Amazon Music both have it. If you haven't listened to the soundtrack, I highly recommend it. Everything about this game is it's so well done. Unfortunately, I think this is the peak of the Medal of Honor series. After this, we had games like Rising Sun, and there were like countless others. European Assault, I think, was another one. And to me, at least, the quality of the games was steadily but slowly arcing downhill, which is too bad. If you ask me, this is where the series peaked, and with good reason. It is absolutely fantastic. If you played this game before, go ahead and tell me about it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I hope that you're enjoying the Unsealed series as much as I enjoy making these episodes for you, and we'll do another one again real soon. Take care of yourselves and each other. Until the next time, my friends. See you later.